Hello everyone, this is BK from CocoZini. Welcome to my channel. I know it's been a while, and for those that checked on me, thank you. I really do appreciate it. I picked up some summer classes. Is one of the reasons why I've been um, MIA. But anyways, today's tutorial is going to be on this beautiful summer dress, which you can make within 30 minutes to an hour, depending on your level of experience. So why don't we just get into it right away? Here are the measurements we need. We need the measurement of your upper bust. We need the measurement of your shoulder to hips. If you want it to be a crop top, you need the measurement of your shoulder to your waist. And if you want it to be a dress, you need the measurement of your shoulder to your knee. If you want it to be a maxi dress, you need the measurement of your shoulder to your ankle. I picked this lightweight fabric. I don't know the name of the fabric because I'm not familiar with fabric names, but it feels like a cotton rayon. I would advise you use a very lightweight for the fabric for this project. I have already cut my fabric, and here is what I did. For the wideness of the dress, I use a measurement of my upper bust. I think mine was 38, so I measured 38 for the wideness. And for the length of a dress, I use the measurement of my shoulder to hip minus 2 inches. So you're going to go ahead and cut 2 of those measurements, one for the front and one for the back. We are also going to need 4 straps. My strap is 20 inches long and 5 inches wide. That is what I cut. But by the time I sew it together and fold it into and sew it together, it's going to end up being like 2 inches wide. So make sure your strap is now less than 20 inches long. We are also going to need an elastic. So this elastic is 3/4 elastic wide, and you're going to need the measurement of your upper bust minus 1.5. Okay, let's start putting things together. I have laid my fabric flat with the right side facing up, so I'm going to grab the second fabric with the right side facing down. When I was cutting this, I wasn't able to get 2 long fabrics, so I put 2 pieces together for the back side of my top. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to join it in the middle. I will sew down the middle part to make it the same length as what I wanted. Then I will just go ahead and sew the side seam of the dress with 1/2 inch seam allowance. I'm done with the side seam, which is 1/2 inch seam allowance. I have also gone ahead to finish all the edges of the top. I use a serger to finish my edges. If you don't have a serger, you can use the zigzag option on your machine to do this. So pick a side that you want for the top of your top, the top side, the upper part of your top. So I've already picked a part, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in 2 inches like so. So you're folding it into the wrong side of your fabric like that. And it's going to be 2 inches. So you're going to fold it all the way around. If you have the gauge ruler, you can use it to fold here. I'm using it's easy for me to do this because I'm using a fabric that has lines. So the lines are going to be my own guide to folding the 2 inches in. So go ahead and fold it 2 inches all the way around. You can pin it. And if you have a lined fabric like mine, you don't have to pin it. You just go ahead and use a line to trace it all the way around. The edge of my fabric is already finished with a serger. So I'm just going to stitch at 1/4 inch close to the edge. I am done sewing it the 2 inches down, and that is the edge. Like I said, it's just like a quarter close to the edge, and I'm going to leave an inch gap for the elastic to go in when I want to insert the elastic. So I'm just going to leave an inch space there. So I'm not going to sew it all the way to the end. I'm going to leave an inch or two space in there for the elastic. So what we're going to do next is the straps. So we're going to set the bodies aside. We'll grab the 4 straps. And here is what we're going to do with the straps. We have the right side facing up. So we're going to close it down this way and fold it into 2. Then what we're going to do is we're going to stitch at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. We're going to start from the top. Then we go all the way down and stop. We're not going to sew that part. That part right there, we're going to leave it open because that's what we're going to use in turning the strap inside out. I am done sewing the strap from right there all the way down up till the end. But that part is open, so I'm just going to use this part to turn it. I don't have a turning stick, so I'm just going to use my fingers in turning it. The strap is big enough for it to easily turn using my fingers. I am done with the strap. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to finish the open end with a serger. And if you don't have a serger, just use a zigzag option on your machine to close out that end. So I'm going to set aside the straps, then I'm going to grab my bodice. So what we're going to do is we'll mark out 1 inch from the upper side of the bodice. Then you're going to stitch on that 1 inch line all the way around. I will advise that you use a ruler to mark out a line of the 1 inch so it will be easy for you to trace around. Because I have a line fabric, it's easy for me to do because I use the lines as a guide. So I am done here putting sewing the 1 inch line around. It's not visible properly here for you to see, but I am done doing that. So what I'm going to do next from here is I'm going to attach the straps. So to attach the straps, you're going to measure 4 inches from the side seam. Then you're going to mark it and you just put the strap, aligning that strap onto the edge of that seam. So I'm just marking it here. Okay, so what you're going to do is you just make sure you align that strap to that edge right there, the edge of the seam. Then you're going to sew it. But one thing I advise also is that this method is not always precise because of the bust sizes. So if you're on the bigger size, I would advise you not to use this method. If you're not wearing a bra with straps on the top, when you're wearing this top, then you're okay. The 4 inches method is awesome. But if you will be wearing a bra, I would advise you not to add the strap at this stage. Then you can add the strap after the next step, which is adding elastic. So what you're going to do is after adding the elastic, go put the top on you. Then once you have your top on and your bra on, then you can figure out where you want that strap to be. Mark it out on your bodice, then sew the straps on. If you're using the 4 inches from the side seam method in adding your straps, then go ahead and add all the 4 straps. When you're done pinning the 4 straps in, take it to the machine, sew it, and make sure you align it to the existing stitch. Right here, I am done adding the straps in. So the next step that we're going to do is that we're going to add the elastic. Grab your elastic and a safety pin. Insert the safety pin into the elastic. Then we're going to look for that 1 inch or 2 space that we left behind when we were folding in the 2 inches, if you remember. So we're going to insert the elastic through that opening that we had. So you gradually put the pin into it and continue to pull. Make sure that you don't lose the elastic while you're doing this, because sometimes you get so carried away that you forget that the elastic is not fastened to the fabric, because sometimes I usually forget to fasten the elastic into something to hold it, just in case I mistakenly overpull the elastic, which sometimes happens. While you're doing this, make sure the elastic is not twisting, so make sure it's flat and easy. I am done here, so I'm just going to take out the safety pin. Then I'm going to place the 2 edges of the elastic on top of each other. Then I'm going to use a zigzag stitch to fasten it. Here is what it looks like after I got done fastening them together. So I'm going to push it in, make sure it's flat and okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and close out that space or opening. And once I'm done, I will go ahead and distribute the gathers evenly across the top, and also making sure that the elastic is aligned and not twisting, so it will be flat. Here is what it looks like after I got done. So the next step that we're going to do is to sew the hem. I finished the edge of my hem with a serger. If you don't have a serger, go ahead and use the zigzag option on your machine. Okay, so go ahead and do the hem. You're going to use 3/4 of an inch for your hem, or you can use 1/2 inch too, whichever one is okay with you. So you can use 1/2 inch or you can use 3/4 of an inch. So here I am done with the hem. That is what it looks like. I have gone ahead and ironed everything so it stays flat and neat. So that is the end of the tutorial. If you have any question on this tutorial, please go ahead and leave it down below. I will try as much as possible to respond. And if you like this tutorial, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you're new to this channel, thank you for coming over. Don't forget to subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. Until the next tutorial, stay blessed and have a wonderful week.